When you're thinking big and bouncy, you've got German barmaids, my buttocks, and apparently cars on Miramar. Oh my goodness gracious me. Hello, PUBG. That's the call. They're wondering if they can politely get their physics back. You grumps. Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Please like the videos. Please subscribe. If you want to get all the spreadsheets and info that I've got for the PUBG Mobile Multiverse, a lot of people do go and join my Discord server. The link is below. There's a special message that's pinned there that includes all the numbers on the guns and stuff that people want to know. So go do that. We're talking about leading targets today. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is I did a recent post in the community section saying, hey, what do you guys want to know about? And a lot of people said, hey, we want to know about leading targets, how you lead targets. And I thought about this, and the funny thing is, for someone as nerdy as me, I don't have a great scientific method for leading targets. And it's interesting because Wacky Jackie, who's one of my idols, he's a hell of a human and does a lot of great work in the PUBG PC field. He has all the sights and the scopes broken down, and we'll show you how you can use the sights, and you can use the reticles on the guns on the scopes to actually figure out how far away people are and work all those numbers so that you can calculate the lead time of that. But I don't do that. There's two things I do. One is for like really fast DMR tapping or spraying. That is where I will use the gun like a laser, and I'm going to show you an example of that. The other one is what I usually do, which is I will use body lengths. And I'll basically, for 100 meters to 200 meters, I'll give them a body length. For 200 to 300, well, it's really 100 to 175 meters, I'll give them a body length. For 175 to 200 and 300, I'll give them two body lengths. I know that sounds nuts, but that's literally how I try and do this. When I'm spraying, I do this. I will use the line of fire like a laser beam. And so I figure out where it's working, and then I let it rest there. So I'm going to slow that down for you so you can see that again. I start firing, and as soon as I get hits, that's the distance that I need to be, and then I will automatically adjust it. Well, I don't obviously think of that as I'm doing it, but if you're fast tapping a DMR, or you are like spray firing an AR or an SMG, that's how I do it. I will use it like a laser beam. Once I get a cut, once I see a blood splatter, I know that I've got the right distance, and I'll adjust my shots that follow that way. One of the reasons I find that I don't really want to get too involved in this and start getting scientific with it is that if you've got a 5.56 AR or any kind of AR that's got a little bit of pace and shell velocity to it, and you're at 75, 100 meters, I mean, the necessary lead time on a target is nothing. Like, it's almost completely nothing. And you can tap fire that thing out like an absolute boss, as you can see there. And there is no need for leading the target. It is incredibly accurate. With a 7.62 round, like an AKM's round or something, you might have to lead the target a little teensy-wincy bit, but not a lot. And a lot of this has to do with knowing your guns as well. And this is really important. If you are looking for a scientific method to this, I don't think you should. I really don't. I don't think you should go too far down the rabbit hole. Once you play enough games at PUBG Mobile, you will get an innate feel as to how the weapons perform and how they should be used. Like, the only time I will really do this is with a 4x scope. I'm going to slow this down so you can see that this is a Wacky Jackie thing, and he's spot on with this. With the 4x scope, you aim basically halfway between the red center line and the first black line on the reticle that you can see. And I'm going to show you how I do this. See how I kind of get him halfway in between? That's where I'm aiming all the time. It works perfectly on the 4x. It's pretty amazing, this, actually. Wacky Jackie did a video on this the other day. And you can see if you keep it in that kind of range as they walk into it, it's so effective. Out to 150, 250 meters, it's phenomenally good. And The problem I was having there is the guy actually stopped. And you'll see in a second when the guy is coming up the hill to pick up the guy that I've knocked, how I readjust this aim, and that area between the red line in the middle and the first solid black vertical line on the right and the left of the middle is where you want to aim with the 4x scope when you're tap firing out. Very, very different if you are spraying. You basically, if you're spraying, I like to go for the old laser beam thing again. You can see there, it's very, very clear. Just nice and smooth in the middle between the reticle, and then the bugger turns away, otherwise it would have had him as well. And then you just got to line it up on him. Leading the target like that is important, and it's something you need to know and you need to learn. The 4x scope is the only one where I really do that. Most of the other scopes I go by feel and intuition, but the 4x scope is superb for tap firing out like that. You can get really, really good results. If you are looking for a bolt action sniper lead, I would say that the important thing is to have the ADS turned all the way down. If it's like with an SLR, you can see what I like to do is get a nice smooth lead on the target and then stop the reticle ahead of them. Watch how when this guy starts moving, I'll move the reticle to the right of the target and I'll stop and wait for him to get about a body length and a half away from the middle, and then I will fire. It's not a smooth, constant thing. It's a move with each shot until I'm certain that I've got the distance and the trajectory right, and we nail it like that. And even with bolt action rifles like the M24, you'll see, I'll show you a clip here. Now, this isn't something that I do a hell of a lot of. Usually the way I lead my targets with bolt actions is very much that you know, pretend lead, where I'm leading the target and then I'm waiting for them to run into it and letting it go, like either one body length or two body lengths ahead. But when I've got a very, very nice clear trajectory like this, what I'll do is I'll lead the reticle up towards the same line as the head of the target. So I'll draw a couple of lines in a second and you'll see what I'm talking about. For the most part, this is with an AWM or a Kar98 or any of those kind of rifles. As I see the target progress across from left to right of the screen, he is running along at one trajectory. I'm going to start the reticle slightly below the line of the target and let it drift up until it gets the same path as the target is on at the height of the head, and I'll let it go. I'll pause this here and I'll show you what I mean. You can see that's the line the reticle's taking, that's the line the target's taking, and when I'm a body length ahead and those two lines meet, that's where I hit the gun. And that's how I lead targets with a sniper rifle. None of this is exactly scientific, and that's fair enough, because it's nice to know that sometimes the old bald tubby bloke here actually does things just by feel, instinct, and raw emotion. So I hope that's, I mean, this is another example of that. You'll see when I'm not going for headshots and body shots, because the target is so far away, and even with the 6x scope, you can see that is such a small target. That's like in excess of 200. Then I'm just going for body shots, and I'll take whatever comes. And it is lead the target, get enough, look how many, like, you know, get a feel for how far ahead of the target you have to be, and then set the reticle up before that. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know it's only a short one, but still in all, I really enjoy having a look at the content that you guys want in the community section there and then providing it. I mean, it's a crazy idea, but asking people what they like watching and then giving it to them seems to me like it might be the way forward. I'm Bushka. Please subscribe to the channel, please like the videos, and let the world know that there's good things happening over here with the humans. Until next time, stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.